Most Fords don't die from age. They die because their owners followed the wrong advice. Factory maintenance schedules are built to sell F-150s, Explorers, and EcoBoost engines and everything Ford, not to keep them alive past the warranty. In this video, you are going to get 17 proven habits that can push your Ford well past 300,000 miles without a major repair in 17 minutes that will be absolutely worth your time. Stick around because habit number 9 involves a $15 can of cleaner that prevents $8,000 in engine damage, and most Ford owners have never even heard of it. And habit number 1 will make it easier to achieve all of this. Habit 17, use the right oil and stop trusting the sticker. If you are running a 2.0, 2.3, 2.7, or 3.5 liter EcoBoost, the oil you pour in is not just a lubricant, it is a shield against something called low-speed pre-ignition, or LSPI. LSPI is a premature combustion event that generates extreme cylinder pressures and shatters pistons without a single warning. Standard calcium-based engine oils are directly linked to triggering it. Ford's own specification, WSSM 2C961A1, uses magnesium-based detergent chemistry specifically formulated to suppress LSPI. For EcoBoost engines, you want 5W30 or 0W30 full synthetic motor oil certified under APISP and ILSA CGF6 standards. Motorcraft full synthetic 5W30 is the benchmark here, and it is what the engine was engineered around. For the Coyote V8, Ford standardized 5W30 starting with the 2021 model year. For the 3.0-liter Power-Stroke diesel, you need 5W30 diesel-rated oil under Spec WSSM 2C214B1. Do not grab whatever's on sale. The wrong oil in a Ford EcoBoost is not just a bad choice, it is a very expensive one. And the answer Ford gives you on how often to change it is not the one your engine needs. Habit 16, ignore the oil life monitor. Ford's Intelligent Oil Life Monitor, or IOLM, will happily let you stretch oil changes to 10,000 miles. That number is built for marketing, not for engine survival. In direct injection platforms like the EcoBoost, unburned fuel bypasses the piston rings and thins the oil, a process called fuel dilution. That thinned oil accelerates timing chain wear and starves turbocharger bearings. The real sweet spot for your Ford is a strict 5,000-mile or 6-month oil and filter change interval, whichever comes first. If you tow, sit in traffic, or live somewhere hot or dusty, treat every 5,000 miles like a hard deadline. Always swap the oil filter at the same time and do not cheap out on it. Motorcraft OEM oil filters are worth every penny over the bargain bin alternatives, but one specific Ford engine quietly burns through oil between changes, and most owners have no idea until the damage is done. Habit 15, check your oil level every single month. The 2018 to 2020 Coyote 5.0-liter V8 has a known issue with oil consumption. During deceleration fuel shutoff events, high intake vacuum pulls oil vapor past the piston rings and directly into the combustion chamber. Mechanics have noted consumption rates exceeding 1 quart every 3,000 miles on affected engines. If the oil level drops too low, the valve train starves and the timing chain guides wear out fast. Ford issued Technical Service Bulletin 1923-65 to address this, which includes a powertrain control module, or PCM reprogram, and a revised dipstick. If you own one of these trucks, pull the dipstick once a month, no excuses. Switching from 5W20 to 5W30 full synthetic motor oil also helps stabilize the oil film on cylinder walls between changes. Your transmission fluid is a whole different story, and what Ford tells you about it is flat out wrong. Habit 14, service your 10R80 transmission way earlier than Ford says. If you are driving a 2017 or newer F-150, Expedition, Explorer, Mustang GT, or Raptor, this transmission is almost certainly under your truck right now. Ford's factory service interval for the 10R80 10-speed automatic transmission is 150,000 miles. That is not a maintenance schedule, that is a warranty exit strategy. By the time you hit that mileage on neglected fluid, the solenoids and valve body are already wearing down. Early versions of the 10R80 also have a documented issue where the CDF clutch drum bushing walks out of position, bleeds hydraulic pressure, and destroys internal clutches. The fix is to service the transmission every 30,000 to 50,000 miles with a pan drop, transmission filter replacement, and a refill using only Merkin ULV transmission fluid. Do not let anyone flush it with a universal fluid. That is like pumping the wrong blood type into a patient. An aluminum deep pan with a drain plug is also worth the upgrade for better heat dissipation and easier future services. The next habit covers a coolant mix that can clog your entire cooling system and a water pump design that destroys your engine without warning. Habit 13. Use the right coolant and watch that water pump. Ford's modern powertrain lineup is designed around phosphated organic acid technology, or POAT coolant. That is Motorcraft Yellow Pre-Diluted Antifreeze and Coolant Spec WSSM 97B57A2. If you mix it with green silicated coolant or G05HOAT coolant, you get a thick gel-like precipitate that clogs your radiator, heater core, and water pump impeller shaft. Flush your coolant every 50,000 miles or 5 years and only use what Ford specifies. On the 3.5-liter and 3.7-liter Duratec and EcoBoost F6 engines found in the Ford Explorer, Flex, Edge, and Taurus, the water pump sits inside the timing cover and is driven directly by the timing chain. When those internal water pump shaft seals fail, pressurized coolant dumps directly into the oil pan. That emulsifies the engine oil and causes total engine failure without warning. Inspect the water pump weep hole behind the alternator bracket at every service. Any fluid leakage there means the water pump and timing chain assembly need to come out, ideally before you hit 100,000 miles. Your cooling system is covered. Brake fluid is something most Ford owners forget, and it is quietly corroding your ABS hardware right now. Habit 12. Flush your brake fluid every 2 years. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs moisture from the air through your rubber brake hoses and reservoir vents. Over time, that moisture lowers the boiling point of the fluid. Under heavy braking or towing, old brake fluid can boil, creating air bubbles that give you a soft, spongy pedal and dangerously extended stopping distances. Water accumulation also corrodes the internal valves inside your anti-lock braking system, or ABS, and electronic stability control, or ESC, modules. An ABS hydraulic modulator replacement can run $800 to $1,500 depending on the platform, and it is entirely preventable. Ford specifies low-viscosity DOT-4LV brake fluid for these systems, engineered to flow rapidly through the tiny electronic valves. Flush it every 2 to 3 years and you protect both your safety and your hardware. A clogged air filter is quietly cooking your turbocharger 1 mile at a time, and most Ford owners have no idea until it is too late. Habit 11. Replace your air and cabin filters on a tight schedule. Most Ford owners replace their engine air filter when it looks dirty. By then, the turbocharger has already been paying the price for thousands of miles. When your engine air filter gets restricted, the ECU compensates by spinning the turbocharger faster to hit boost targets, elevating compressor temperatures, and putting extreme thermal stress on the turbine housing and exhaust manifold seals. Replace your engine air filter every 15,000 miles under severe conditions, or up to 30,000 miles on normal highway driving. Your cabin air filter needs to go every 15,000 to 20,000 miles as well. A clogged cabin filter increases electrical resistance on the blower motor regulator and can cause premature blower failure. If you are running a 6.7-liter Power Stroke diesel, your primary fuel filter needs to come out every 15,000 to 22,500 miles, and the water separator basin on the primary filter needs to be drained monthly. The next habit is one most Ford owners skip entirely, and it silently builds carbon deposits that cost thousands. Habit 10. Fight carbon buildup with an oil catch can and walnut blasting. Direct injection engines like the EcoBoost do not wash the intake valves with fuel. Blow-by gases from the positive crankcase ventilation, or PCV system, carry oil vapors that contact the hot intake valves and form hard carbon crusts. Those deposits restrict airflow, cause misfires under boost, and kill thermal efficiency. Here is what you should never do. Do not use aerosol intake induction cleaners on your EcoBoost. Those chemical solvents dislodge large carbon chunks that can pit and bend the spinning blades of your turbocharger turbine. The heat from burning those solvents can also melt the precious metals inside your catalytic converter. The right approach is to install a dual-port oil catch can on the PCV circuit to trap oil vapors before they reach the intake track. Then get a professional walnut blasting service every 50,000 to 70,000 miles to safely clean the valves without damaging anything downstream. And the cheapest fix on this entire list targets those same sensors coated in that same gunk. Habit 9. Clean your MAP sensor array every 15,000 miles. EcoBoost engines rely on a network of 3 manifold absolute pressure, or MAP, and intake air temperature, or IAT, sensors to manage boost and fuel delivery. Over time, oil mist from the PCV system coats these sensors in a thick carbon slurry. That contamination distorts their voltage outputs, and the ECU starts making bad calculations. The result is acceleration hesitation, rough idle, poor fuel economy, and erratic transmission shift patterns. Every 15,000 miles, remove these sensors and spray them with dedicated mass airflow, or MAF, sensor cleaner, or MAP sensor cleaner spray. Do not use a brush, a Q-tip, or brake cleaner. Those will destroy the delicate silicon wafer inside the sensor. Spray, let it air dry completely, reinstall. A $15 can of MAF cleaner protecting an $8,000 engine. That is the best trade in automotive maintenance. Next is a tiny valve that, when it fails, blows out your gaskets and seals one by one, and most owners do not notice until the oil is already everywhere. Habit 8. Replace the PCV valve every 30,000 miles. The positive crankcase ventilation valve, or PCV valve, regulates crankcase pressure and routes blow-by gases back into the intake. When it sticks shut, pressure builds inside the engine block. That pressure forces oil past your valve cover gaskets, rear main crankshaft seal, and the plastic engine oil pan used on modern Ford platforms. Owners have reported that by the time they notice an oil leak, the PCV valve has already been failing for thousands of miles. Replace it every 30,000 miles and you maintain negative crankcase pressure, stop premature oil leaks, and reduce oil consumption. It is a $10 to $20 PCV valve replacement that protects a $1,000 gasket and seal repair. Skipping the next habit is one of the most common causes of ignition coil failure before 100,000 miles on a turbocharged Ford. Habit 7. Replace spark plugs every 30,000 miles and verify the gap. Highly boosted EcoBoost engines subject spark plugs to severe electrical and thermal stress. As the electrode gap widens from wear, the ignition coil has to work harder to bridge it. That extra workload overheats the coil windings, causes misfires under load, and sends unburned fuel into the exhaust system. Replace your spark plugs with genuine Motorcraft Iridium spark plugs every 30,000 miles. Before installation, verify the gap with a wire feeler gauge and set it to 28 thousandths to 30 thousandths of an inch. That tighter gap ensures a clean, reliable spark under full boost and protects your ignition coils from premature failure. Cold starts are where most Ford engine wear actually happens, and there is a trick built right into your PCM that almost nobody uses. Habit 6. Use flood mode to prime your engine before cold starts. When your Ford sits for more than 3 days, oil drains out of the cylinder heads, turbocharger supply lines, and hydraulic timing chain tensioners. Revving a cold engine immediately after startup causes metal-on-metal contact before oil pressure can stabilize. Use flood mode to prime the oiling system before starting. Fully depress both the accelerator and brake pedals and crank the starter. The powertrain control module, or PCM, disables the fuel injectors. The starter spins the engine at low RPM, turning the mechanical oil pump, filling the oil filter, pressurizing the timing chain tensioners, and feeding oil to the cam phasers and turbochargers before any combustion loads are applied. Crank it in flood mode for 3 to 5 seconds, then start normally. After startup, let it idle for 30 to 60 seconds, then drive gently and keep RPM below 3000 until the coolant temperature gauge starts to rise. This one habit eliminates startup rattle and significantly reduces engine wear on every single cold start. Next is your drivetrain, because your AWD system is more sensitive to tire wear than most owners realize. Habit 5. Rotate tires every 5,000 to 7,500 miles and align annually. Ford's Intelligent All-Wheel Drive, or AWD, systems and power transfer units, or PTUs, are highly sensitive to tire diameter differences. A variance exceeding 0.5 inches in tire diameter can cause the traction control module to detect constant wheel slip. That keeps the multi-plate clutch packs engaged continuously, generating heat that degrades the PTU gear oil and differential clutches. Rotate your tires every 5,000 to 7,500 miles and get a precise four-wheel alignment done annually. This protects your tires, your suspension, and your AWD hardware all at once. The next habit is about a fluid Ford labels as lifetime fill, and mechanics have flagged it as one of the most overlooked maintenance gaps on the entire platform. Habit 4. Flush your PTU gear oil every 30,000 miles. Ford PTU boxes are labeled lifetime fill, but they contain only 17 to 18 ounces of gear oil. Extreme exhaust heat degrades that oil into a solid black sludge that mechanics have described as looking like black toothpaste. That sludge causes rapid bearing degradation, gear stripping, and structural failure of the PTU casing. Owners of the Ford Explorer, Edge, and Flex have reported PTU failures as early as 80,000 miles when the fluid was never changed. Drain and replace this fluid every 30,000 miles with a high-quality, full-synthetic PTU gear lubricant. The next habit applies specifically to the 2.7-liter EcoBoost and Gen 4 Coyote, and ignoring it destroys your engine without a warning light, a code, or a sound. Habit 3. Replace the wet oil pump belt before it fails. The 2018 and newer 2.7-liter EcoBoost and the 2021 and newer 5.0-liter Coyote V8 use a belt and oil system, also called a wet belt, to drive the engine's oil pump. This belt runs submerged in engine oil and is made from high-strength hydrogenated nitrile butadiene rubber reinforced with Kevlar. But here's the problem. Unapproved engine oils, engine flush solvents, or extended oil change intervals can chemically degrade this belt. It softens, swells, and sheds rubber particles directly into the oil pan, and a wet belt replacement that costs a few $100s becomes a $7,000 engine rebuild. Those rubber fibers accumulate on the fine mesh of the oil pump pickup screen, starving the engine of oil pressure and causing catastrophic bearing failure and turbo destruction. Mechanics have strongly recommended preemptive physical replacement of this belt between 80,000 and 100,000 miles. This is not a belt that squeals before it fails, it just fails, and when it does, the engine goes with it. Replace your battery the wrong way, and Ford's own charging system destroys the new one within a year. Habit 2. Reset the battery management system every time you replace the battery. Modern Fords have a battery management system, or BMS, sensor on the negative battery terminal. This sensor monitors current, voltage, temperature, and state of charge to adjust alternator output based on the battery's calculated health. When a battery ages and its internal resistance rises, the BMS commands the alternator to output higher charging voltages to compensate. If you install a new replacement battery without resetting the BMS, the alternator applies that same high-voltage charging profile to the fresh battery. That overcharges and destroys the new battery's plates within a year. To reset the BMS, turn the ignition to accessory mode with the engine off, flash the high beams 5 times, and press the brake pedal 3 times. Within a few seconds, the battery warning light on the instrument cluster will flash, confirming the BMS internal age algorithm has been reset to 0. Owners have reported this simple step extending new battery life by years compared to skipping it. Pair this with the next habit for dealer-level visibility into your Ford without the dealer-level bill. Habit 1. Use ForScan and an OBD scanner to monitor your Ford like a pro. The single most powerful tool a high-mileage Ford owner can have is ForScan software paired with an OBD Link EX USB interface. You can monitor real-time engine misfires, transmission fluid temperatures, active diagnostic trouble codes, or DTCs and module configurations. You can catch a developing cam phaser issue before it becomes a $4,000 repair. You can see fuel trim data that tells you whether your MAP sensors need cleaning before a misfire ever shows up. Owners using ForScan regularly catch problems months before any symptoms appear, saving thousands in fees and preventable repairs. Knowledge is the cheapest maintenance you can do on any vehicle, and with ForScan, you have more of it than most dealership technicians will ever share with you. Now you know better. If this video helped you, hit that subscribe button, because we cover this kind of no-nonsense, deep dive content to help you out. Everything you need is linked in the description below. This is Tom from Seats and Wheels. Thanks for watching.